Hello and welcome to day 61 of 99 Days of Deeper Embodiment. My name is Jason King. Just going to pause for a moment and wait for others to join. So, I don't have much to speak about today. Nothing is really rising. It's been a full day of feeling today. I've actually still been feeling a tremendous amount of heaviness. And I really have no idea what the heaviness is. It feels like, hmm, let's go into it a bit. It feels like the sadness of losing purpose, of recognizing that there's actually no reason. And that's like the feeling of losing your sense of purpose for being. Like, why am I here? And so I kind of feel that that is what is moving through the collective at the moment because there's a lot of like, how do I put it? There's a lot of like seeing that all of these ideas that we've had about who and what we are not true. Kind of feel into that. Like all of these ideas that I've had about who and what I am, they're not true. And so that feeling, what is that feeling? It's a sense of purposelessness. It's not hopelessness because hopelessness depends on, like, oh, well, there's a bright future, so that's hope. But this is like the the kind of how do I put it? Like it's like a way station. It's kind of like the limbo. Limbo, that's a good word for it. Limbo. It's like limbo. It's like, oh well, everything that I thought was my reason for being, everything I thought that was this reason for existing, everything I thought that I was is really now up for review. And now that it's up for review and I'm seeing through it, um, then this sense of purposelessness comes up because there's still that identity there. It's like, oh, well, I'm still a something, aren't I? I'm still a somebody, aren't I? And this is still a reality, isn't it? And so there's this sensation of like trying to hold on to anything, anything at all to hold on to some sort of firm reality. Like this is real for me. This is what reality is. And yet, like quicksand, it kind of like goes away as soon as there's more presence around it. It's like, oh well, that wasn't real either. Oh, okay. So that's the sensation that I've been having over the past, I don't know, maybe day and a half or so. Um, it's kind of like, oh well, everything that I thought was real is now collapsing. Everything that I thought was real is now up for review. And because everything I thought was real is up for review, I'm like, the sensation is, oh, let me hold on to something. Hold on to something. Because I want something to be real. I want it to be real. What is real? What is my purpose? What is this all about? And and yeah, there is nothing. There's nothing to hold on to. And so that sensation that's attached to an identity too, that also leaves, but it needs to be felt through too. It needs to be felt like, oh wow, all of these ideas that I had, all of these imaginations that I had about who and what I am and who and what this is, they're just imaginations. Oh, so what is this? I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. So dying into that sensation, dying into the sensation of the purposelessness, like, oh, actually, there is no reason. There's no reason. There's no quest. There's no mission. There's nothing here to do. Making money? No, that's not it. Having kids? No, that's not it. Leaving a legacy? No, that's not it either. You know, being happy and joyous and free, that's a part of it. Yes, that's who you are innately. That's what you are innately. But that's not purpose. There is no purpose. Because anything that holds on to the idea of a purpose is an identity. And that is what is dissolving. That is what is getting seen through. But there actually is no identity. And now it's getting seen through collectively. So collectively, we're all experiencing this sensation of, well, what's the point? What is the point of it all? What am I doing? Why am I here? What is the point? What is the point to continuing? Well, why am I actually doing anything at all when everything around me is some form of deception or some form of illusion or some form of magic? That's a fun word, right? I'm watching The Magicians right now, so magic comes up because I'm watching. Actually, I watched season 4 of Magicians already, but I'm rewatching season 4 because season 5 just came out on Netflix. So I'm enjoying myself. but but yeah, magic. You know, like there is no there's no reason. There's no point. So actually beginning to feel that very deeply is another layer of identity. Because what is that identity that says that I have a purpose, that I have a reason for being, and that I have to prove myself? I have to quest. I have to do something in order to be somebody. What is that? What is this that says that I need to find the right partner or the right place to live or the right job? I have to create my reality, the one that I want. I need the right house. I need the right followers. I need a lot of followers. I need some followers. I need whatever. I need to create a program. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. It is all quite pointless. One of the socially constructed ideas that was put into my mind as a young boy was that America is the greatest country on earth. This was put into my mind, implanted over and over and over and over again. It's like from a young age. I'm saying the Pledge of Allegiance in class. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God. This is every day. So how strong is that belief? How strong is it embedded? To watch it collapse, literally. So everyone is watching it collapse around them as they're fighting with their neighbors and with their family members about who's right and who's wrong, and nobody knows. Nobody knows. It's all in a toss up at the moment. There's nothing to fixate on, really. It's in limbo. And so what is the sensation then? What is the feeling? The feeling is one of like intense anxiety because everything that formed the world around me and the world around you and the world around all of us is in a state of limbo, is in a state of flux, is in a state of change. And nobody knows how it's going to unfold. Nobody knows. The Some people who follow certain websites online will tell you one thing. Other people who follow other websites will tell you another thing. And all depending on who you're following, you may decide that you believe one thing or another, but nobody knows. Nobody really knows. And so, what is actually known? Nothing. Nothing is known. And this limbo soup is when real potentials arise, really letting go and just saying, okay, yeah, whatever wants to arise is okay. Whatever wants to be felt is okay. I don't know anything about anything at all. This is when what really wants to show up can show up because there's nothing resisting it. There's no ideas holding it back. And so, what is this that really wants to show up? We don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know anything about it. I can feel it, and it feels whole and complete. It feels like here. It feels like everything is okay always. That's what it feels like. And so the more present I am here and now, the more I can feel it, but I don't know what it looks like. I can't tell you what it looks like. I have no ideas about that. And if I have ideas about that, then that gets in the way, that covers up that wholeness and completeness. Because what is pulling that image in front of what is whole and complete already? So as long as I have ideas about it that I'm putting in front of the wholeness and completeness, then I'm not seeing the wholeness and completeness that is always here. And so yeah, this dissolution of the identity that wants a purpose, that needs a purpose, that needs a reason, that has to prove itself, that needs to work on something, that needs to keep busy and do something, that identity is dissolving. It's dissolving with all the ideas of the world around it. And as it dissolves, then what do we feel? A sense of uncertainty, a sense of, oh, whoa, there's nothing solid here. Nothing is solid. Don't know anything about anything. And that's okay. It's okay to feel that. And if we need to hold on to a pillow for a while, that's okay too. So hold on to the pillow. Hold on tight, as we feel our way through this. Because we're always whole and complete. If I have an idea about what tomorrow will bring, then that is an imagination, that is a projection. And then when I go into that idea, I feel it here and now, what do I feel? Oh, okay. What is actually creating that projection? Oh, a sensation that actually feels like there's an anxiety here. There's not wholeness and completeness here. Okay, so let me feel that. Ooh, and then I feel that fully and completely in the heart. And then there's no more ideas about what tomorrow brings. You see, so all of these ideas are rising All of these ideas about what tomorrow brings are right so that we can feel that sense of helplessness, so that we can feel that sense of anxiety around the future, so we can feel that sensation of panic. All those ideas that say that we're not whole and complete right now, that there's something wrong, that there's something off, that there's something missing. And so that's really what is arising, nothing more than that. Everything that we're watching on the news, it's all arising so that we can be present with that feeling, that sensation of panic, of not knowing what will come to pass, of not knowing what tomorrow will bring. Because there's never any knowing around that. I don't care who you listen to, what astrologer you follow, what what prophet you read, what artificial intelligence you're listening to. It's all imagination. None of it is real. None of it at all. And all of it comes from beliefs that are there. And so as long as we keep putting an idea in front of what is, whoop, and saying this is what is, then there's no seeing of what actually is, here and now. The wholeness and completeness that always is here. The self that is presence. Presence itself. We could say it anyway. It's all pointing to the same thing. And so the more I let go of any ideas about the future at all and move into feeling that felt sense of wholeness and completeness here and now, then the more I feel through all of the socially conditioned mind, these thoughts and ideas that actually create the panic that I'm feeling in my body. And as I feel through the socially conditioned mind, then what appears before me is something very new, something very novel, something that I haven't seen before, which isn't based on anything that I've been taught, which isn't based on anything that I've experienced before, because it isn't an experience, it is simply a being here and now, what I always am. When we feel the soul's frequency is the frequency of wholeness and completeness. The soul never lacks anything at all. And within the soul is the entirety. So when we feel the soul's resonance, the soul frequency, the frequency of wholeness and completeness, and focus only on that, then everything that we have ever thought or believed in any lifetime that is not in alignment with the soul's frequency begins to purify out, because it's not real anyway. And then what we're left with is wholeness, completeness, the perfection that always is, and nothing else. And so this is instantly available in every moment. And when we see it, when we recognize it, there is no thought there. There is no idea there. There is nothing in front of it anymore. It is right here now. And as I drop all of the ideas that show up in front of wholeness and completeness, then my perceptual reality also shifts. But that is inconsequential to the felt sense of wholeness and completeness. Because the felt sense of wholeness and completeness is not concerned with a perceptual reality. So the pointing is to go directly to the felt sense of wholeness and completeness and stay there. Don't move. No matter what you feel, no matter what unfolds before your eyes, stay with the felt sense of wholeness and completeness. Now, I'm not saying this is easy. It's very difficult, actually. I'm practicing this all the time. I'm doing this all the time. The practice is constant. And what this requires is that I feel everything that there is. And I allow everything that there is to pass before my eyes without holding on to any of it. Always staying with the felt sense of wholeness and completeness. So it's very difficult. It's difficult when we have a sensation of loss, when there's a sensation of panic, when there's a sensation that there's dramatic change and there's a lot of chaos coming up. It's very difficult to stay centered on that sense of wholeness and completeness here and now. This is not easy. But it gets easier. It gets easier the more that we center on it and focus on it. Simply because what is better than the felt sense of wholeness and completeness? Is there anything else that you're looking for? Is there anything else that you truly want? Everything that you're looking for is the felt sense of wholeness and completeness. When you remove all the self-deception, when you remove all of the mind's ideas about it, everything that you've ever been looking for is the felt sense of wholeness and completeness. And so this is the essence of your very soul. And so once you fixate your focus on that and don't move it, then rapidly your soul frequency starts to fill in the body. Now, as it's filling in the body, then there's a lot that needs to be felt. There's a lot of trauma in the body. There's a lot of ideas in the body. There's a lot of history in the body. There's a lot of ancestral history in the body. So there's a lot to be felt. And that's okay. And it can be felt because the felt sense of wholeness and completeness is there. It's like, oh, I can feel this because the felt sense of wholeness and completeness is always here. So I just focus on that, and that does everything else. There's really nothing else to do. As there's no one doing it anyway. Because what is this idea of a me? That dissolves too in the felt sense of wholeness and completeness. I feel wholeness and completeness here. I have no ideas about who and what I am. I don't know anything about it at all. It completely dissolves. What is there to feel that is in the way of the felt sense of wholeness and completeness? These are the ideas that have been moving us. These are the ideas that create addictions. These are the ideas that create patterns of looping patterns of thought and behavior. These are traumas, these are beliefs. As soon as I focus on the felt sense of wholeness and completeness, which is not a thought, it is a felt sense, as soon as I focus only on that, then these ideas begin to purify out of my body. I begin to embody as the felt sense of what I am, as the felt sense of wholeness and completeness, that which I am. I begin to embody. And as I embody, then everything that is an idea that says that I am not whole and complete begins to purify itself out of the body. I begin to feel it all the way through the body. And this can take as long as it needs to. There's no time on it. As soon as I'm focused on my wholeness and completeness, then time stops. So it takes as long as it needs. If there's a million lifetimes of ancestral ideas in the mind, then it takes as long as it needs to purify out. But you can kind of feel that we are really we're moving through it now, because what are you seeing on the screen in front of you? You're seeing a lot of limbo, a lot of chaos, a lot of not knowing what the future is, and a lot of trying to hold on to some sort of idea about what the future brings. Oh, let me grab that one. Oh, let me grab that one. Oh, let me grab that one. And then having them all float away in front of you because there's nothing to actually hold on to. None of them are true. And so they get seen through right away. But as soon as they get seen through, then whoop, oh, that wasn't true either. Oh my goodness. Wow, there's nothing to actually hold on to. I don't know anything at all. Okay, so let me just be. Oh, that's a lot more relaxing. That's a lot more fun. Let me stay here. Let's stay away from all the other trips that the mind can take me on. Stay with the breath. Stay with right here, right now. So no matter what you're experiencing in your reality, in your world, in your life, whatever word you want to use for it, mm, I'm not saying not to be present with that and have the utmost compassion for it because it is not easy right now. All of us are moving through some really difficult stuff. I mean, literally, the world is kind of collapsing around all of us as as many of us are locked in our homes. So it's not easy. It's quite difficult to sit through a collapse, to sit through so much, to feel. And yet it becomes a lot less shaky when we can just sit here with the breath and move into thoughtless presence here and now, being with anything that is here, not resisting anything at all, and allowing it all to move through. And the more that we can practice this, the more that we can be in this space, the more grace and ease there is with anything that comes up in our life. I promise. I love you very much, and I will see you tomorrow for day 62. Have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And to those who watch on replay, I also love you. Leave some comments. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being present with me. Take care now.